Hi there, and welcome to the Mindful Marathon podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Quirk, a run coach and pediatrician. Mindful Marathon is all about helping runners of all types to run their own race. Whether you are a seasoned runner or you're just getting started, I want to let you know that you're welcome here and that you're in the right place. Hi, my friend. Welcome back to the Mindful Marathon podcast. Today we are on episode 80. And if you missed the last in the series of mindfulness moments, that episode was episode 72. And we did a lovely guided reflection that you can use on a run, as well as a body scan that you could try before bed. So today we have another episode in this mini series. We're going to be talking about visualization, and in particular, visualization for race day. So many of us have spring races up ahead, and I have this on my own mind and put this into my regular routine. So I thought I would expand on it a little bit more and share this with you. So we'll start with what visualization is and why it matters. We'll do a short writing exercise, and don't worry if you are currently running or driving a car, we'll get back to that. And then we'll end with a guided visualization that you can return to as often as you'd like. So, why does visualization matter? Race day can bring with it a lot of excitement, anticipation, sometimes a little bit of nervous energy or a lot of nervous energy. And one of the most powerful tools that we have as runners is this tool of visualization. It's mentally rehearsing an experience that we hope to create. Now, it's not about pretending that everything is going to go off according to plan or that everything will be perfect. It's about helping our mind and our body feel familiar with the experience before we even step foot on that starting line. So, we're going to begin with a short writing exercise to help you imagine race day in like great detail, okay? And then we'll move into the guided practice where we'll mentally walk through the experience. If you are not in a place where you can write, so I imagine most of you are walking, running, or driving. So I just want you to kind of go with me on this little journey with these questions and like ponder them right now in this moment. And then later, when you have a quiet, like 5 or 10 minutes, if you can, sit with these prompts again and just journal. Okay. I promise that there is a method to my madness. The visualization that's guided that we'll do after the writing exercise is based on your personal experience and on what you come up with as answers to these prompts. And if you need to pause the episode to write, like by all means do that. So I'll leave little pauses after the question. So if you want to pause and write, go for it. And just one thing to say, you are meant to write freely, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect. This is sort of like what comes to mind when I ask the question. So let's start with the morning of the race. I want you to picture waking up, and here are some questions. What time do you wake up? What does the morning light look like? What is the weather like? What do you eat or drink? What music or sounds are around you? Now we're going to arrive at the start. Picture the start area of your race. What do you see when you arrive? What does the crowd sound like? What are the runners around you doing? What does the air smell like? If you're having trouble coming up with some of these, some examples I have written down are coffee, cool morning air, sunscreen, or fall leaves. Now I want you to imagine standing in the corral or standing in the crowd before the race begins. How does your body feel? What emotions are present? What thoughts are running through your mind? Then let's shift toward thinking positively for the race ahead. What is a phrase or a mantra that you can carry with you? What reminds you that you are prepared for this? Next, we will navigate through challenges. This part is important. So again, there are lots of normal race day challenges. Usually a race is never perfect. There can be, crowded early miles, a surprise hill here or there, fatigue later in the race, weather changes. So my question to consider is when something challenging happens, how do you respond? What do you tell yourself? How do you steady your breath? What helps you to keep moving forward? And then last, I want to ask you some questions about the finish line. So imagine the end of the race. What do you hear as you approach the finish line? Who might be there? How does your body feel as you cross the finish? What emotions rise first? And last, just sit in the sense of accomplishment and gratitude and write anything that comes to mind here. Now that concludes the writing prompts. And again, if you were running, walking, or driving, you can always return to it later, but hopefully that got your brain thinking a little bit about an upcoming race. So, part two of this episode is the guided visualization. So, for this one, again, you can go along with me on the journey right now. But when I invite you to close your eyes at the beginning, maybe don't do that if you're walking, running, or driving. But if you would like to listen to this before bed or first thing in the morning and return to it for sure, then you can, close your eyes and breathe deeply and just move through the experience as slowly as you'd like. So let's begin. If you are in a space where you're able to close your eyes or soften your gaze, let's start with that. Let's settle the body by taking a slow, deep breath in and letting it fall out gently. Allow your shoulders to soften. Allow your jaw to relax. Just being with your breath. Picture race morning. Imagine waking up on race morning. Notice the light in the room, the quiet of the early hour, your early morning routine. A fresh cup of coffee, maybe, or a freshly brewed tea. Feel the anticipation of the day ahead. Notice your breath. Notice the calm. Now we arrive to the race. Picture the starting area. Runners gathering, the hum of conversation. Notice the sounds around you, footsteps, laughter, music, the announcer in the distance. As you're standing in the corral, let's focus on becoming aware of the body. Feel your feet in your sneakers. Feel your shoes on the pavement. The steady rhythm of your breath. The breath settling your body. The sound of the crowd. Notice the mix of excitement and energy. The race begins. You hear the sound of the starting horn. The crowd begins to move. You are excited. Slow your roll just a little bit. Settle into your pace. Relax your breathing. Keep your movements smooth. At some point in the race, something feels a little more difficult. A muscle cramp, an unexpected hill, heat, cold. You notice it. You steady your breath. You remind yourself, I have prepared for this. Return to your breath, your footfalls, your rhythm, the mantras and phrases you have to return to. Remind yourself, I have prepared for this. At last, you are in the final stretch. You begin to hear the finish line before you see it. The roar of the crowd, the positive energy. Take it all in. You are here. You have arrived. You see the finish line now. Slow this part down in your mind as best you can. On race day, it often goes by in a blur. Soak in the sights, the sounds, the runners around you, your own emotions as you cross the finish line. Notice the feeling in your body. Courage, pride, relief, joy, gratitude for what your body carried you through today. Bask in it. This is your race day. Take a few deep breaths here before closing this visualization. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Visualization doesn't guarantee a perfect race, but it helps your mind recognize the experience when it arrives. The sights, the sounds, the rhythm of your breath, these become familiar. And when things feel challenging, your mind already knows the way forward because you've practiced it a lot of times. So remember that You can return to this as often as you like. Download the episode so that you have it at the ready. If you have a friend who's a runner who you think would enjoy this visualization technique, I'd be grateful if you'd share it with them. And thank you so much for joining me this week. And I look forward to hearing your thoughts on the mindfulness series. So have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you for listening today. If you enjoyed the episode, please share it with a friend. And if you have a moment, please rate and review the podcast so that we can reach and encourage others to tie on their sneakers and join us out there on a run. See you next time.